to believe.
Joe Younes probably had the Bucks and laid the house and the ranch and everything he owns up in Allentown, Pennsylvania on the Milwaukee Bucks. And he joins us right now, our old buddy Joe Younes. Joe, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, Tone. That's actually incorrect. I did not touch the game because an old friend of mine once told me anything over 10 in the NBA, you stay away from it, Tone. Too many points, man. Way too many points.
That's a good job. Let me give you a roaring round of applause right out of the gate there. And yes, people are pointing out, Orlando has the home court advantage down there in the bubble that we keep forgetting about. Markel Fultz had his family down there.
Right.
They were watching outside with the Fandemic crew, and they're blowing their air horns outside of the Walt Disney World Wide World of Sports complex down there.
That's right. But, hey, Tone, I will say, in this whole bubble, there is no advantage, obviously, with no crowd and no fans, but the being a one seed means nothing. The seeding means absolutely nothing anymore.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you, man.
Now, could you actually see a team like Milwaukee getting beat by a team like Orlando in a series, though? I mean,
I will say, Harry. Now we could, look at these series too. The problem with the Bucks was they were resting guys. I know Giannis had these fake injuries, had a toothache or whatever they said the last game. I mean, it's like the NFL when teams start to rest their players towards the end of the year. It's not good. I mean, look at the Lakers tonight. You're playing a Blazers team that's been every game's been a playoff game for my man Damian Lillard and the Blazers. So watch out. If you're betting tonight, I would not take the Lakers, man. I would just let's see how they play because they haven't been playing well in the bubble to begin with.
Wait a minute, you're not just taking any live dogs here? Come on, Joe. It's all about live dogs. If you looked at the bubble, pretty much all the underdogs have been covering many of these games.
Well, yesterday the favorites were 4-0, but overall, Tone, you're right. That's why today I won't be surprised if the Blazers go out and do what the Magic just did. And you're right. Live dogs are the way to go. I think the rest of the way here. And another one too, the Rockets in that series. It's a coin flip, but everyone's talking about how Westbrook's out. Don't forget, James Harden plays pretty well himself. I don't know how big Westbrook missing really matters to the Rockets. So I would circle Houston tonight. So put the ranch on Houston tonight. There you go.
Is that a lock right there?
Lock it right in.
The Houston Rockets over the Thunder.
What's the number? There's no line on this right now on the ESPN Pick Center. What's it saying on DraftKings? There's Couch Guy.
The Thunder are 1-point favorites.
Thunder by one. Thunder -1.
Yep. And that's strictly because of no Westbrook. I mean, that's really what that is. But, you got to look at – I'm with you, Tone. Going forward, the dogs, man, it's all about the dogs because there is no home court advantage. So you'll see lines being, skewed a little bit too much to the higher seeds when I don't think it's really valid. It's not warranted at this point. So go with the dogs, the rest of the way here. It might be a good play.
Now, I can tell you, it's pretty obvious that LeBron did not want to see Portland advance into the 8th seed because the Lakers don't defend the three very well. They don't shoot the three very well. And that's something, at least from the shooting perspective, the Blazers are very good beyond the arc. I think they could actually upset the Lakers in the series.
I'm 100% with you, Harry. And you know my love for Damian Lillard.
I know.
I mean, the thing is they play, and let's not forget, Nurkic was out for so long. The Blazers aren't really an 8 seed. I mean, fully healthy, they were in the Western Conference Finals last year. So this isn't a typical 8 seed. It's more or less like a 4 seed at best. It could be a 3 or 4 seed. So, I mean, the Lakers might be in trouble. You're right. I think the Blazers are plus 360 for the series. I would take a stab at that if I were a betting man.
If you were,
yes. And I know you're not.
Yeah.
The great Joe Younes. People saying, who's Joe Younes? He's one of our former producers, and he is a guy who is Mr. Ed. We always
GodfatherLocks.com.
Yeah, we always thought Rothstein was an NBA honk. We know that the Couch Guy's an NBA honk. We know Harry's an NBA honk. But Joe Younes.
And you are not an NBA honk.
And I am not an NBA honk. But Joe Younes turning his back on LeBron, and we had many big discussions.
Knockdown, drag-out
fights
fights.
about LeBron James and his legacy.
Right.
If he gets knocked out of the playoffs in the first round by the Portland Trailblazers, what does that do not only to LeBron's legacy, but also to the upcoming movie, the reboot of Space Jam? That's what I want to know. How will that affect the box office?
You can hit the breaking news box. I've turned my back on LeBron a few times.
No!
My back has been turned because, since when did he turn political is what I want to know for all the fans out there of LeBron. He's got to stay quiet, Tone. Just do your job. Like our my former program director said back in the day, our good friend said, just do your job. Just do your job. That's all you have to do. Just play basketball.
Yeah, but
come on, man.
that guy stole that from Belichick, though. That wasn't his original.
No, you know who did? You know who made that famous and got a couple? It's Gus Bradley when he was in Seattle.
Oh, true.
Remember,
yeah,
Gus
true.
Bradley was a defensive coordinator, and we all saw him screaming, "Do your job!" And then he became the hot commodity. The Eagles brought him in, and then he went to Jacksonville, and he got a couple jobs out of that.
He flamed out though quickly in Jacksonville.
Well, it happens to everybody, pretty much.
The Gus bus, Tone, right?
The Gus
bus, man.
Yeah.
The Fandemic crew, I think, was driving the Gus bus back then. The Fandemic crew, they used to be the
Venga bus.
The Venga bus.
Yeah.
They also used to be the Padilla Flotilla when you could do that. Now it would be racist to have a Padilla Flotilla out. Well, first of all, you'd have to be in the parking lot to do it anyway. And this is not the Joe Younes show, as
and
we once
Sal's
said.
pals, too. That's kind of a slight against Italians.
Exactly right.
Right?
Sal's pals, exactly. I'm offended.
Hey, Joe, it's one of the series I'm really looking forward to watching. It just tipped off is Miami against the Pacers. I think either one of these teams, I know Miami's favored, but I could see Indiana winning that series.
Well, I'll tell you what, too, Harry, and we've actually seen this go on with the Pacers for years. They just don't get the love.
No.
They're always looked at as a team that's just mediocre. They don't have that one star. But if you look at their team, Victor Oladipo plays well. Obviously, Miles Turner's great. Don't forget about Brogdon, who they got from Milwaukee last year. They've got players that can really light it up. I mean, they can play defense and offense. So either one of these teams who will meet Milwaukee or Orlando could make a run at the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. I don't even think Milwaukee's the best team in the East, guys.
No, I don't
really
either. I like Toronto, actually. That's the best team.
Toronto or Boston, even without Gordon Hayward, which that news sucked today to hear about the 4 weeks. But the Boston Celtics have so much depth that they can even match up against Milwaukee and Toronto and the rest of them. So even before today, I would say stay away from the Bucks. I'm not impressed. There's really not much to them other than Giannis, and you got some shooters in Middleton and Bledsoe and obviously Brook Lopez. But I'm not feeling the Bucks to be in a championship, man. I don't see it.
I hear you, man.
Wow, he's turned his back on LeBron, and he doesn't see the Bucks in the finals.
Let me give you a roaring round of applause for finally seeing what I saw about LeBron James all along, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say this, though. One thing we all can agree on, Brett Brown needs to go. Can we not agree on that?
Exactly.
I don't know. I think Rothstein's still hanging in. He and Spike Eskin are still on the fence on this, on whether or not.
Well, they're convening an emergency podcast
will there
tonight.
Be an emergency pod
prior
tonight?
to Game 2.
Okay, I want to make sure that I got to know what's going on with this organization. Now, by the way, what about the Flyers? Who's going deeper into the postseason? Oh, the Flyers have scored!
Oh, that looked like a soft goal.
It was. Carey Price did not see it at all, and it came from a weird angle, and it beat him long side. Wow, how about that? It is 2-0 Flyers with 2:56 left in the third period. Brett Myers. No, that's Philippe Myers.
Wow.
Why do they call him Philip if it has a PPE at the end? Shouldn't that be Philippe?
Stick side.
Yeah. Wow, that's a bad job. That's right from the top of the circle, right against the boards.
Kind of a tumbling puck.
And it hit his stick. It hit Carey Price's stick and then went right through. So the Flyers getting a good bounce there on a goal that never should have counted. Carey Price cannot let that go through there, Harry. That is unbelievable. Yes, Kulik got his stick in the way, and you got to let the goalie play the puck, but that was just a shot. And Kulik's stick got in the way, but it went off. It went off of Carey Price's stick. Mm-hmm. And if you can see it and you can get your stick, remember, he's the guy who made the save where the stick was parallel, was
that
horizontal.
Was game one. That was unbelievable.
That horizontal stick, and he made a save with. That one has got to be made, but it's 2-0 Myers from Konechny and Hayes, and that Kevin Hayes has been phenomenal, Joe. I know you're a big, big hockey fan, my friend.
Oh, no, I've been watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Hey, the one series that's caught my attention is the Stars and the Flames. I mean, the goals are coming out every you can't even blink. And there's goals everywhere. But the Flyers, after that game, too, you knew they'd turn it up, right? I mean, today, they look like – I watched the first period, so I keep a check on all the sports, man. You have to when you're in this business. You know what I mean?
Now, you're sitting at home with like 15 – you're sitting at home in like a room where I can see like 5 or 6 TVs
like Ace Rothstein.
Like Ace Rothstein Casino.
Yeah.
I've got 3 TVs thrown in one basement. That's the max right now. But I do need to invest into getting 4, 5, 6 if I could. You know, I got that little Fire Stick, the Amazon Fire Stick, which streams the game. So I'm good across 3 TVs right now at any moment. I even got Champions League soccer on, Tone. You want to talk?
That's it. Oh, Joe Younes. I thought it was going to be ugly today, Harry, but this is a love fest here today. This is we always play that clip of you. Do you have that in there, Joe?
Yeah, we got to hear this.
This is my favorite clip of Joe Younes when we were working together, and something got ugly. Is that when I said this isn't the Joe Younes show?
Yes. It was about LeBron.
It was about when you loved LeBron and he could do no wrong. And then I was trying to educate you as a learned veteran, crusty old curmudgeon of the National Basketball Association going back to the '60s. Let's go to the tape. This is when Joe Younes and I almost came to blows in the studio, Harry.
We're sick and tired of it, man.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are. We're sick and tired of it, man.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
What were you sick and tired of? I don't remember. Was it about the LeBron bashing?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was the LeBron and NBA bashing in general that you were doing. Now, the last time I was on with you guys, we played. I know you guys played the clip at length. My Twitter page absolutely blew up with people commenting about that video, that clip that we played with the longer version of that whole blow up. So definitely classic radio tone for sure.
Awesome stuff, man.
I mean, me and Harry, how many times do we battle? Don't talk about the NBA if you want to bash.
But you never got in these confrontations with DeBella, though. You never talked back to him, my friend.
No, not even close, man. Not even close.
By the way, on Twitter, Hog Wild, one of the followers, says, I wasn't following. I got to follow him now. He says, I just took Portland plus 420 for the series offshore.
Ooh,
is that a good number right there? That's
solid. That's worth that's worth $1. That's a good bet there. That's nice. Exactly. I mean, 420 is great value, Tone. If they steal game one, there you go. I mean, I'll be interested to see what the Bucks line comes down to now for the series after losing today. That should probably take a little bit of a dip.
You got to go on DraftKings, man. You know, if you download the DraftKings app, you you bet basketball, $20 bet, you get a $10 free bet, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's all I use is DraftKings, Tone. Come on, man.
Exactly. Now, do you use the code Bruno? Because, you're already on there. See, all the new subscribers, because basketball is underway, you subscribe or you go in and download the app, DraftKings app. I've been on DraftKings for a long time. Johnny Avello, my boy out there, from the day I found out he was hired there, I owned the stock. I bought a bunch of stock of DraftKings. I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about when it first came out, Harry.
Right.
All over DraftKings, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Joe, how has baseball been to you thus far?
Baseball, Tony, that's my sport, man. You know that. I'm a huge baseball guy. 34-12 in the last 46 baseball picks. So I know one wise man, Tony Bruno, did tell me, Harry, years ago, don't bet on baseball. But I'll be honest, it's been my strongest league at GodfatherLocks.com for years. I mean, today I got the Padres. They're up 4-0. I don't even blink. It's just go, go, go. I mean, it's the lines are easy to read. This is the way I like to say, Harry.
And you're right about that. Yesterday, I think all of the favorites won yesterday. And so in baseball, and you're right. The thing about baseball, and this is what my thing is like, you're laying big lines on pitchers.
For certain pitchers.
But now, with the shortened games, you're playing double headers. You get 7 innings. You don't have to worry about going to the bullpen that much like you did last year. And I think if you see a good starter go, and people always bet starting pitching, and that's what it's all about. And then when you have a really good, solid pitcher, that pitcher is always going to be favored big money.
Yeah, and you're right. You got to steer away from anything over minus 160, Tone. I mean, if you're on DraftKings and you see somebody that's minus 160, 165, just don't take it. There's not enough value. I mean, unless you like the underdog. But I always stick around the minus 120s, 130s, plus 120s. You hit those kind of games, you'll make a lot of money in the long term. So last night I went with Gallen out there in the D-backs, Arizona D-backs pitcher, which the Diamondbacks are getting hot. I had them against the Oakland A's, Tone, but Oakland's been hot as well. That was one that cashed in last night. That was a pretty good hit. And it's good to take some games live as well. I mean, if you like the team before the game starts and they go down early, double down, as they say in the blackjack world.
Yeah, then you can get them at maybe plus money or just less of a favorite.
Now, I may have been scammed on that tweet as not 420. You get it? He said, hit the Blazers at 420, Harry, in Portland.
Oh, okay.
Is it really plus 420 offshore? Well, because what is the DraftKings line on the series with the Blazers and the Lakers?
I think it's plus 360, Tone. That's what I got him at the other day. So I'm not
sure. So you would definitely jump all over for. You know who else would jump all over plus 420?
Eitan.
Well, yeah. I think he is right now, as a matter of fact.
Exactly. Now, where were you last night on the Fernando Tatis Jr. hitting 3-0 and hitting that grand slam? Because I know you and I got into something about that bat flip years ago. You're a new school guy.
I love the bat flip there. Come on, man. I mean, when Jose Batista did it,
right.
That was the argument. Hey, that was one of our best shows that Tony was involved with. That was when Tony was still on the show with the Fanatic. The bat flip, that makes the game, man.
I agree. We had Ruben Amaro Jr. on, and he actually finally agreed that it's like the Bible. The Old Testament unwritten rules have to go. Burn it. Bring in the new unwritten rules should be written. Yeah.
I mean, you hit a grand slam. Hey, screw it. You hit a home run to give your team a walk-off or a lead. You flip the damn bat. Come on. It's walking with style, so, right, Harry? I mean,
yes, sir.
I know
damn
you're not
right,
a fan of it. Some people are not a fan of it, though. They hate it. It's like, come on. Talk a little shit, you know?
Oh, we have Joe Younes dropping a little profanity. Now, of course, Joe C.
437.
Joe C. has to write down on the profanity lag. We're okay on Sirius with that, but we can't do that on Sports Map Radio or, of course, on the mightier 1090. Now, people on the West Coast heard you in San Diego and all the way up and down the West Coast. Heard you live, man, dropping the S-bomb, man.
Blazers
it's the Flyers 2-0 lead. I got a little too excited there, Tom.
Okay.
A little too excited.
The Blazers are plus 365 on DraftKings for the series.
So I can't get plus 420
365, yeah.
How about low-key?
You got to risk 500 on the Lakers.
That's not no way. I mean, that's a waste of money here. I mean, that's like a shoebox bet. They used to call those back in the day.
Exactly. There was a certain guy that used to call them those
shoebox bet. By the way, speaking of the mightier 1090, we went on there yesterday, and I want to thank all the great people out there. Of course, the great Bill Hagan, the man in charge of the radio station who made this happen. The mightier 1090. Rich Eisen's on there, Scotty Farrell, Scott Kaplan, Dave Smith, Notre Dame football, and, of course, into the night with Tony and Harry, 9 to midnight out there on the West Coast, baby. How awesome is that?
That is great. That is great stuff. But, yeah, another series to look out for, guys, as well as is out west, is the 4-5 matchup. Well, I was talking about it earlier. I'm getting some information here. The Rockets, that play just got – can it get any bigger, Harry? Can the Rockets pick get any stronger? Because I think it just did. There's some numbers on the offshore that suggest that Houston is a really good pick today. So, I mean, this might be a shoebox bet in itself tonight.
Yeah, the guy who tweeted me, Hogwall, actually sent me a picture. It's MyBookie, the website, offshore, Blazers plus 420 is actually a number that's out there right now. If you want to go offshore, I usually just go offshore to go snorkeling and stuff and look for chicks on the beach. You know what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you.
The great Joe Younes, they're through two periods now. It's 2-0 Flyers after 2, trying to go up 3-1 in this series with the Les Habitants. Joe, always great to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Let's give him a roaring round. Should we give him a roaring round of applause?
GodfatherLocks.com.
Tony, I have to say...
Not to be confused with Joe Younes' remote. That guy's a strapper, by the way.
I just want to say...
We're tired of it, man.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
Because of that drop, I had Tony's new graphic for his rant page already in waiting, and it was so